everyone, it's Nat here. So tonight I'm still working on my journal for Chrissy and I'd like to start covering my cover. So first things first, I will take the pages out. So I hope you're all doing alright. It is 40 something here. Of course you won't be seeing this till a couple of weeks after the fact when Chrissy has this. Yes, it's very hot here. Kangaroo Island is in a lot of trouble tonight with the fires. I think it's about half of Kangaroo Island that's on emergency warning, which is horrific. It'd be so scary being over there. And of course everyone in New South Wales and Victoria, you know, it's really bad over there as well. We've had a number of outbreaks here in the Adelaide Hills, but they're still managing to contain them, so no warnings as yet, which has been wonderful and a great relief. So yes, now they all come out very easy, so I'll be able to use them. It's a lot of vintage pictures, so I'll go through that and I think cut out the pictures so that they're ready to use when I want to. Now we don't want these pages, but I might be able to use them for another project I'm doing at the moment, so I'll just carefully tear them out. They're the ones I like to keep because I like backing tags with them and stuff, especially the vintage pages because they're nice and coloured. Alright, now I'll just grab my scissors, just see if I can neaten up the edges a bit here. Just got to be careful not to cut through the spine part. So just want to go along there a bit. So I was having fun last night, stayed up late and started making some of the ephemera for this. It's very kid-like, but I've been finding some other bits and pieces that are a bit cheeky that will counteract the immaturity of it. Not that they're really mature pieces, but they're a bit naughty. It's a bit better. So you probably hear a bit of noise in the background. I have my fan going, not on me unfortunately, but just to move the air around the room a bit. Put up this side that can come off a bit more. Trying not to go through at all. It's looking pretty good. Alright, now the next thing is, it is too long. So we'll have to do something about that. So what I do is grab one of my semi-constructed signatures and a pencil. Now we do want to leave a little bit down the bottom. Probably, you know, like that. You want to leave like the same amount that they left with the page here, at least. So if I put the signature down to where that sort of stops, we want to leave about that again up the top here. If not a bit more. So I'll just put a mark up there with my pencil. And I'll grab a ruler and I just measure. I go centimetres because I can understand them. It's about 1.9 centimetres. So what I do is go over the other side and do 1.9. Just about there. And I might just do it here as well. Now it never ends up straight for me anyway, but better than being completely off whack. And I'll cut a line along. Draw a line along, I should say, before I cut. I think this heat's frying my brain so over it. I'm just really happy that Saturday and Sunday I think we're getting down to 20 and 22 and hopefully a bit of rain. So that'll be wonderful. Just a worry for the other states because I think Saturday's meant to be foul weather. So now I'll get my metal ruler since I'm going to be doing some cutting. I'm quite new to this cutting with my knife hook thing, so bear with me. So I have found it's best to, instead of pressing heaps and trying to get it done first pop, it's better to do it a number of times and just go back and forth over it until you get through. So just fix this up if I can, and I'll just lock it into place. If it's going to work, yep, that's worked. My line looks crooked, but oh well, I'll give it a go. So just got to hold the ruler down well, and I'll just go over it with a little bit of pressure. And I just keep doing that, and it takes a few goes, but I'd rather do it that way. It is a bit crooked too, my cutting. See if I can straighten that up a bit. There we go, I think that's better. First time I tried it, I cut and then I bent it, but it actually broke the chipboard a bit on the other side, so I don't do that now. Now I haven't gone through it, I'll keep going afterwards, but I will start this side as well. Do it this way, be safer. Make sure I'm in camera a bit. Just move you over a little bit. Ruler keeps sliding. Luckily, once you've cut once or twice, you've got a ridge that it sort of naturally wants to go in, which is handy. Now I like to go back the other way. Just put the ruler there for safety measures. It's not really helping much, so. Now that I've got the sort of guide cut, I can put a bit more pressure on. It's getting there. Starting to go through the other side. But it is a bit crooked, but that's alright, because once we cover it you won't notice that as much. The end bit's a bit thicker, so it looks like we've gone through most of it. It's just the end bit there. So we'll just concentrate on that. There we go. And just get this other side done. There we go, that one's come off. Now we've just got to do this little centre bit, which is quite easy. You want to try and get it straight. There we go. Just up there a little bit, but that's all right. That off. Alright, so that hopefully should be about the right size now for our signatures. Yep, that's looking good. And so it's not perfect, but it does the trick. My ruler away. Just see, that's not too bad actually. A little bit wonky, but it'll do. Oh, that's pretty good on the edges there, so I'll take that. Now last time I put masking tape over the edges, but I don't know if I will this time. So it does smooth it out a bit, but it never sticks very well for me. Let's have a look. You might hear my son yelling at his friends in the background as usual. I did warn him I was on video though, and to not yell any rude words. It's very thick masking tape, so I might see if I can cut it. It's not going to tear easy, so I might have to cut it down. Couldn't find my thin ones, so Now we're not going to see it, so it doesn't matter if it's crooked and stuff. It's just to smooth over that edge a bit. That'll be alright. Did I fold that? Did too. Yeah, I'll manage that. Try that again. Right. I've got masking tape stuck to my scissors. Now I'll try cutting this in half because it's a bit thick. I hate trying to cut this stuff. I'll go from this side now. Didn't do too bad. Just stick that bit there for the moment. I just want to put it along there a bit. Doesn't reach the whole way, but that doesn't matter. I'm not going to see it once we cover, just to smooth the edge off a bit. Do the same on this side. Better. Get that little wrinkle out so it doesn't show up under the material. Alright, let's clean up my mess a bit. So now we want to get the material ready. So I'm using this unicorn, beautiful sticky unicorn material. Now I did show in my last video that I did a tester with the glue to see if the glue would show through, and it didn't seem to. So let's hope, fingers crossed, that it doesn't when we do this. Now I'm just going to make sure that it's just seeing if you can see like the words and that through there, but you can't very well, so that's good. So now we've just got to cut our material down. I'm just going to turn my mat out there, I think. Looks like that bit might be alright. So I'm just going to do a rough cut now. I've got my fabric cutter, forget what you call the things, so that will do. Now just going to run it down here. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. That definitely wasn't straight, but it'll do. And then got to leave the margin either side to fold it over. So let's go about, I'm not worrying about the straightness because I'm going to put like paper or whatever on the inside once I've folded it over, so you won't notice how messed up I've done the edges. So I might trim that one a bit though. I'd be doing it neater if I wasn't doing it on camera. I'll blame the camera for that because I've got it like on an angle and it's very hard. I love these fabric cutters, they make life so much easier. Of course, the offcuts I'll keep for some embellishments. Right, so I think that'll be alright. I'll turn this back around. Put my cutter away. So now, just thinking of how I want to do this. I reckon usually I do the spine first for some silly reason. So I'll probably do that again. I just want to make sure that it's going to be sort of straight enough with the pictures. Just move that down so the unicorns look in a good position. I reckon that'll do. Alright, so I'm going to use my Helmar's glue. I will do the spine first. So I usually pay particular attention to the edges. And then just smother the middle. Now I want to try not to move that too much, and I'll just lie it down like that. And wait for it to adhere a bit. Now usually I cut the corners, but I'm thinking this material is pretty thin. I might be able to get away with folding the corners in, which I might actually do, because when I cut the corners I usually make a mess of them. So I could possibly just cut a bit. They look pretty neat folded, so we might just fold them in this time rather than cutting them, which means I won't bother doing that. So what we might do is start sticking this side on. So again, pay particular attention to the edges. Try and work fast because it's so warm, it's going to dry in a heartbeat today. Try and get the big blobs of glue spread out a little bit, and will stop it from showing up through the material so much. Alright, let's see how we go with that. So I'll just lie that down like that. Make sure that there's no creases in it. Just pushing this edge into the little dip that's there in the spine. Smooth it out. It's beautiful fabric, this, nice and sparkly, just like Chrissy. We have a bit of a joke on the Facebook groups, because every time she puts a project up and I say, oh, that looks awesome, she'll say, just like me. So now every time I say that looks awesome, I just say, just like you, Chrissy, or else she says it. So alright, so that should be that side. It looks like the glue's not coming through at all there, which is great. And the spine, I reckon I can see a little bit there, but that doesn't matter because I might end up putting lace or a doily or something over the spine. But the front's looking pretty good, so now we'll do the back as well. Get low on glue. I'm gonna have to go buy some again soon. Certainly go through this stuff when you're making the journals quickly. Stuff's hard to squeeze out. I can sense it drying already. Just go around the edges a bit again. Alright, let's see how we go with that. Make sure that's sort of flat. Stick it down before it dries. Make sure there's no wrinkles. Just pushing it into that dip again. It's looking good. I think I can see a bit going through there. Sometimes I don't press down on it much if I think it's going to come through. Let it dry a little bit and then press on it. That's not too bad though. I'm happy enough with that. Yeah, that's looking good. Right, so that's that bit done. Now I usually like to do the outside bits like this in first. So I put it that way. Again, I want to get a good bit on the edge there. Yep, drop my glue. Just pull it taut. So yes, as I said, I can probably cut some of the bits of the corners down if I want to when I go to fold it in. So that'd be the easier way to do it. To this side. I know it doesn't have to be perfect because it's for Chrissy and she'll forgive me, so. I did that a bit crooked. A bit of glue came through there. It'll be interesting to see how it goes when it dries. It's definitely not too noticeable though. And I do have a few bits and pieces to stick on here as well, so it's looking good. So now I'll just find my little sewing scissors. I like to cut a bit of a wedge just down the bottom here. It saves the bulk when we go and fold it over like that. So I'm very rough when I do this sort of thing, but I tend to just cut a little bit. I don't cut all the way to the cover, so I can fold this little bit over as well. But just doing it like this for now. So you can see it's not quite to the cover, so you've got a bit that you can fold over. So looking forward to the cooler weather tomorrow. Get out in the garden. Son and I will get out and pull those weeds again. Now I'm not going to cut these bits down yet either. What I do, or the last few times I've covered, what I've liked to do is get my signatures in before I fold these over, and then I cut them down and tuck them in under the signatures, and it looks quite nice and neat then. So I leave these open like that until I've got the signatures in, but I can fold these sides over. So I'm just thinking how I want to proceed with this. Could have folded it like that, couldn't I? But let's just cut it down a bit now that we can see where it sort of needs cutting. said I have a bad habit of cutting too much off when I do it the other way, so just going to angle this a little bit. And we can tuck that bit in and fold it over, and it should be pretty good. Take that off. Just stick this down again. And what I can do is just add a bit of glue here. Stick that in a bit. Keep knocking my glue over as usual. There we go, that corner's looking alright now. Trying to get away with not having to use corner edges. So I'll go down here and I will cut this one a bit. Fold that in and take that over. So again, I'm just going to do a bit of gluing around here so that I can neaten this up where I sort of want it. That's not too bad. Just hold that down. Said I am going to cover this bit, so that'll neaten that the look of that up. It's looking pretty good. Cut that off. And I'll just tuck that bit in. Hang on, got to get a tissue and glue bomb coming out. So, oh yeah, I was going to say no book haul tonight, but I'm not putting this on tonight, so that doesn't matter. Because I'm filming this at it's just after New Year's. As I said, you won't see it for a week at least, 2 weeks probably by the time I get this done and get it off to Chrissy. By then I might have a book haul because the shop's been closed for the last couple of weeks. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So the last side, as I said, it's probably easier just to cut the corners, but every time I do that I really stuff them up and then have to use the book corners, so I thought I'd try this. It's a bit different, but it's a bit neater. So far it's working alright. Now, if we fold that in, that'll be good. So again, get some glue in there. So I wanted to show most of the process that I use for this because I haven't actually done a journal and shown most of the process yet. It takes a while to build up the confidence to want to show all this sort of stuff on camera, but I do need to get used to it. It's a bit rough up there, but it's not too bad. Alright. So that's the inside, as I said, very crooked, and if you want to leave it look like this, you want to cut it a bit straighter than what I have, that's for sure, but because I am putting paper on the inside, that is going to be fine. I just got my little glue here because there's a little bit here I want to stick down. Got all the doors and windows open, so all I hear is the crickets and some other weird bug out there that I've never heard before. Alright, so that's the cover so far. As I said, I'll leave these like this, and once I put the signatures in, then I put it over, because if I stick it down now, I'll be sticking cardboard for my signatures on top, and I just feel that this isn't the best surface to stick that onto. I'd rather stick it down on here. So, and then I'll fold them in, but I will show that when I do that part of it. So, yeah, we've got our cover all covered, and that's looking beautiful. And yes, I've got a, I don't know if I'll use one of each of these, and I do have a doily. I'm not sure if I'll use that either, but that, because I think that takes away a bit from the unicorns and that. I might be able to put it somewhere. I do have other laces and that as well, so I might find something. Might have some thick white lace or something that will go nicely across there, which I might do. And then we'll use some of Kerry's beautiful Suffolk puffs. Think about where I might like to put them, because I think that'll be beautiful on there, even one of each, so I'll definitely use some of those, I reckon, and find some buttons or something to put in the middle. So, but I'll probably do the embellishing the cover after I've put all the signatures in and everything, and that way it won't get ruined while I'm mucking around with it. So I'll leave that to all dry, and I will go, and on the next video we'll probably be putting some embellishments in the signatures, which will be great. So take care everyone, I hope everyone's safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.